Yesterday I had my microphone turned all the way down. Today I'm going to keep it right in my face. I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking. I'm going to be brushing up on, or should I say starting from scratch, Ableton Live. Let's see, is this it here? That's yesterday. Coming up. No, that's not it. I don't see anything coming up. I know I'm live. Let's go here. Let's just see what we can open up. There it is. No, that's not me. Coming up. This is where I lose my viewers. I'm pretty sure I'm live though. I don't see me. Well, let me get started though. I'm going to go ahead and get started. That's an old one there. Usually I pop right on there. Oh, here it is. I just hit the first one. It would give myself a thumbs up. Apologize for that. See how long that took me to do that. Because I'm still not, oh, I haven't even went live yet. That took a couple of minutes. Now let's go. Okay, here we are. I'm going to be checking out this hill, radio, right here. This guy here, and we are in the settings. I guess he's going to pick his display. Let's listen.
Or smaller, depending on what screen.
Oh, I didn't even get a sound check. Test. Let's see.
Next is the most important thing, which is the color and appearance. My Ableton Live might look slightly different to you. I quite like a dark color to it.
Okay.
You can go up here and change some crazy color schemes. Like, whoa, you need sunglasses for this one, man. This one is my second favorite.
I didn't even know I could do that.
I like keeping it on default and going to dark.
I'm going to follow along with him. Settings. Display. English. Mine's is different. This is, let me see what year this is. What year he did this. It's only 10 months ago, so it should be, but he has the regular Ableton.
And then neutral.
He has the regular Ableton. Dock. Let's see, following system. Now he doesn't, I don't have that. Display. I don't have that option. I have the free
You can
demo.
select cool, which makes it a bit more blue, or warm, which makes it a bit more yellow. Second most important, or maybe it should be the important side, is our audio preferences. This deals with how we get audio into Ableton Live and how we get audio out of Ableton Live. For now, we just want to be able to
wait a
hear
minute.
things
I think I
coming
see
out of
the, I
Ableton
see
Live.
my
For this,
theme.
you will need to select.
Hold on. I think I see it's theme color. Yeah, theme color. That's what it is. Let's see. Oh, wow! I didn't know it could do that. Let's see. You can see my screen. What? Wait a minute, I have two of the same screens. Big screen. Main screen. This should be different. Hold on. Oh yeah, I had this on the wrong screen, y'all. Here we are. Now you can see what I see. Do you? Oh, I'm cooking me some tea. I don't. Let me turn my. I'm burnt. The water's boiling on the tea. And make me some tea for the night. Turn the fire down on that. The heat. Don't have no fire on this oven. Okay, here we are. Now I have paid for this Streamlabs, and I knew it was going to be. I was hoping that it wouldn't be acting up. Every once in a while, I have to go back and set the screens, but it is, like people say. But anyway, look here. He just showed me how to do this. Whoops. I need to move this thing I'm on. I need another pad here. I need another pad. Or I probably need to slide everything over a little bit more. For now, yeah, I can use another, no, it's the bottom, it's my chair. My chair here, I can just rearrange my leg. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking. I'm just going to, actually, let me just see how much I can not talk. I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking. Yesterday, I couldn't hear my audio at all, but the videos, I'm happy with the screens, the way they switch. Happy with the screens. Anyway, let's go here. I just learned how to do this here. And let's see how many different. Oh, that's classic. I didn't know how dead that looked. That's light. I didn't know how dead that looked. And that's dark, intermediate. Oh, that's nice. Let's see. That's old. Let's see. Which one did I? Purple? That's pretty cool though, isn't it? Default. That purple looks pretty cool though. Nature. Let's see. Let me see what happens here when warm. Go back. I'm gonna leave it here. I like this purple, y'all. Kind of purple. Go to the audio. I don't need to mess with this already. No, let's see. Phantom out. Okay. And phantom. It's two phantoms here. I'm not messing with that. It set itself. Oh, I forgot I had my fader port. That's kind of a long way to reach. Let me see. Oh, that's right. Let me see if the Machina works with Logic, but it doesn't work with my Machina MK3 works with Logic, but it seems like it's not going to be able to do anything with Machina. No, it's not going to do anything. I'll turn it off and turn it on, see if it would be cool if it did like Logic, but I have enough controls here. I think I might want to move that fader port a little bit closer to me. Yeah, I think I want to make some room over here on this little table here. Let's see if we can. I want to see if I can make some room over here. It's a nice little spot right here too, though. This table here might be too small. Well, my remote control for my car went off. I had a remote control for my. It's a table, a desk right here. I think this needs to be flipped too. That's not right. I moved it the other day. Yeah, that's a long reach for that fader port. Let me see if it'll stretch. I'll unplug it a minute. See if I can set it a little bit somewhere else. Let's see. That's it right there. If I can get the USB to reach. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna move it. I gotta measure these cords too for this my USB. I need to get the longest one. See which one is the longest. Okay, I want to measure. I have an extra one right here. I think I have a couple of extra USBs. Here's one here. I plugged in the back of this mixer here. I'm not using that for. I have really high class. What do you call it? Very good interface here. I have universal audio. The Vote 476. This is no slouch. This is one of my oldest USBs. I think this might even came from the apartment fire. I wonder if this is the cord that I had when I had my first video camera. I remember the kids I got it from Home Shopping Network. Some of the young people that I worked with, they said, "Man, I remember when you first got that thing." I made my first YouTube videos with this cheap camera from. Yeah, this is longer. I thought I saw another USB. Let me look and see. Hold on. Oh, there's one on the drums here. One on my drums. Yeah, I'm going to be plugging the drums up soon. Here's the extension. Is it? Here it is. Let's see if this is short enough. See which one the longest. I already had the longest one. Okay, see if we can get this thing to reach. Since it is that long. Go under. Here we go under the keyboard. Stick it under here. right back in the microphone. Okay. Oh, plenty of room. Plenty of room. Plenty good room in my Father's kingdom. Plenty good room. You know, I haven't been in learn mode for a couple of years. I wouldn't tell the truth, at least since the pandemic. I haven't been in serious learn mode since at least 5 years. I haven't been into learn mode. I had to recoup. Had like the guy from the soloist said, he had some setbacks. Okay, plug this back in. Now I have my fader port right at my fingertip. Right at my fingertips. I have a fader right here at my fingertips. Let me see if it's going to be working. Let's finish setting stuff up. Listen to this video. Okay, I can go back and forth now, I think. Okay. I'm not even going to switch.
How you're listening to Ableton Live. This is wherever you plugged your speakers into or your headphone into. Now, if you plugged your headphones directly into your computer or you're using Bluetooth, we'll need to select them here in this list. Now, I'm going to select this for now because I'm using some screen capturing software. Then once you've done that, you need to set your sample rate. Set this to a default of 44/100. Then you need to adjust your buffer size. 256 is usually a good place to start. Then let's test that we have the right audio setting set up. And we do this by pressing this test tone here.
He skipped something because he has a screen capturing. Channel config. In and out. Okay, I'm not going to mess with. He said, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and set this lower, like he said, to cut down on the latency. I'm going to set everything the same way how he has his. Okay.
If you hear that, that means you have your audio preferences correctly set up and you
I don't see the test. Test here, the test off. There, okay, I just heard what he said. Okay, that's working.
Scary. It really isn't. Think of it like an instrument that lives inside Ableton Live where we can control what notes it plays. The other one is audio. This is where we can drag loops or mixing or mastering.
Okay, there we go.
Auto hide plugins. As soon as you click off the track, it will hide it if that is selected on. And auto open plugin window. So as soon as you load the plugin, Ableton Live will open it up. Go to. Next, we're going to look at getting any external plugins we may have into Ableton Live. This is where you can download instruments from other companies or audio effects from other companies, such as instruments like Serum or audio effects from FabFilter. Now, if you're using a Mac, you will want to select your audio units. Then select your VST2 plugins in system folders.
Okay, all those are on. Wait a minute.
And you're sorted. Now, just a couple of settings that I recommend down here is keep multiple plugin windows open. This is particularly handy if you're mixing or mastering.
I have everything on except for VST folder. I'm going to turn everything on. VST custom folder, he has that off.
Auto hide plugins. As soon as you click off the track, it will hide it if that is selected on. An auto open plugin window. So as soon as you load the plugin, Ableton Live will open it up. I think that's just a really good one to have. Then select your VST2 2 plugins in system folders, save for VST3, and you're sorted. Now, just a couple of settings that I recommend down here is
I forgot how slow his computer
open. This is
too.
particularly handy if you're mixing or mastering. Auto hide plugins. As soon as you click off the track, it will hide it if that is selected on. An auto open plugin window. So as soon as you load the plugin, Ableton Live will open it up. I think that's just a really good one to have on. Then record warp. I like to select the file type to WAV, bit depth 32-bit. Have a 2-bar count in for when we're recording. Turn off your exclusive ARM and solo, so that means you can record enable or record more than 1 track at a time, and the same for soloing a track.
Yeah, I
want to make sure auto warp long.
Catch up with him.
Samples is turned off. Have a 2-bar count in for when we're recording. Turn off your exclusive ARM and solo, so that means you can.
I only have it on 1 bar because sometimes my patience. Solo. Start. Transit. I'm going to finish
more than 1 track at a time, and the same for soloing a track. We want to make sure auto warp long samples is turned off. Put a
Whoops. Okay, I want you guys to follow along with me. That's my line. Okay, and this is the video, and this is me. I mean, my page. Okay, let's go.
Scary. It really isn't. Think of it like an instrument that lives inside Ableton Live, where scary. It really isn't. Think of it like scary. Or mixing or mastering. Auto hide plugins. As soon as you click off the track, it will hide it if that is selected on. An auto open plugin window. So as soon as you load the plugin, Ableton Live will open it up. I think that's just a really good one to have on. Then record warp. I like to select the file type to WAV, bit depth 32-bit.
I'll leave this here so
have a 2-bar count in for when we're recording. Turn off your exclusive ARM and solo, so that means you can record enable or record more than 1 track at a time, and the same for soloing a track. We want to make sure auto warp long samples is turned off. Put a default warp mode to complex, then turn off create fades on clip edges. This is just going to wreak havoc with all the transients in your samples you import. Then we want to set our default launch mode to toggle. Great, so
stop.
All set up, the boring bits out the way, let's have some fun. Count in for when we're recording. Turn off your exclusive ARM and solo, so that means you can record enable or record more than 1 track at a time, and the same for soloing a track.
I'm going to look and see if I have everything just how he has it. Yeah, practically. Let's see. I'm going to say make sure he's still doing. I'm going to stop.
We want to make sure auto warp long samples is turned off. Put a default warp mode to complex, then turn off create fades on clip edges. This is just going to wreak havoc with all the transients in your samples you import. Then we want to set our default launch mode to toggle. Great, so all set up, the boring bits out the way, let's have some fun in Ableton Live. So we have 2 views in Ableton Live, which is the session view, which is the view that everyone gets to use in Ableton Live, which is the session view import. Then we want to set our default launch mode.
Okay, start from there.
Mode to toggle. Great, so all set up, the boring bits out the way, let's have some fun in Ableton Live.
Do I have to,
so we have 2 views in Ableton Live, which is the session view, which is the view that everyone gets scared of. If you use this little icon up here, which is actually the Ableton Live logo, you can click and open up something called a range view, which looks like your more traditional DAW setup. You have a linear timeline with bars.
Wait a minute. Now I got to go.
And using Ableton Live, which is the session view, which is the view that everyone gets scared of. If you use this little icon up here, which is actually the Ableton Live logo, you can click and open up something called a range view, which looks like your more traditional DAW setup using Ableton Live, which is the session view, which is the view that everyone gets scared of. If you use this little icon up here, which is actually the Ableton Live logo, you can click and open up something called a range view, which looks like your more traditional DAW setup. You have a linear timeline with bars across the top and time along the bottom, where you can record or arrange music along a timeline. We'll come back to that in a bit. We're going to demystify this session view. So we can imagine session view as almost like a sketch pad or a live performance area where we have loops that continuously loop round. They're not on a predetermined arrangement, and we can drop them in and out when we feel like it. Whereas arrange view, as we were just looking at a second ago,
like I said, I'm not going to do a lot of talking, y'all.
Arrange view, which looks like your more traditional DAW setup. You have a linear timeline with bars across the top and time along the bottom, where you can record or arrange music along a timeline. We'll come back to that in a bit. We're going to demystify this session view. So we can imagine...
Okay, let me look at this. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. This looks like a regular timeline to me. Yeah, this looks like a regular timeline here. Let me see here. It's like a timeline. But this one almost kind of reminds me of a Native Instruments, a Machina. Almost, but you know, I usually say a prayer before I even start learning anything in the morning, that God will open up my understanding. My father always said that, you know, put God first in everything you do. If God build a house, if God don't build a house, the people that's working on it, it's going to be working for nothing. So I'm praying that God will build the foundation. I started my foundation years ago, and I always put God first. I used to put Amazing Grace right on my song playlist. I would call the playlist Amazing Grace, actually. So we're putting God first here. I'm gonna go ahead and start on my smoothie. See what time it is. See what start. It's 9:31. We're starting. I start my day. I start my measurement of my day by when I start my smoothie, and I'm already set up. So it took me. I know I was up before the sun came up. Did my meditation and prayers. So here we are. 9:30. That means I'm gonna have to get up earlier. I want to be able to sit at the studio at least by 7:30. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and let's start again. Let me look at some of these other screens. This is a nice screen right here too. I'm gonna make this bigger too so y'all can see what I'm looking at. Here's a little kid out there. I looked out the window. I was pleased to see all of the children and their parents walking everybody to school. Everybody's living their life. God bless us, everyone. God bless all your people. You know, God has his people, and believe it or not, the devil has his people. People say, we all God's children. Nah, God created us all, but some had gone astray. If you're not born, you have to be born again. Your spirit is dead. If you haven't been born again, your spirit is dead and your soul is lost. Nothing personal. Once you're born of the Spirit and baptized, that's a whole nother thing. I'm not even gonna get into that. I think you can get to heaven without all the formalities, all the little things. But, you know, if you're here, you know, it's be good to get baptized in the name of Jesus. Not the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Those are titles. His name is Yeshua HaMashiach. Okay, translated in King James to Jesus. But anyway, I'm going to leave this right there. Let's go ahead and get busy again. I always pray, ask God to lead and guide me so that I can have his message. You know, if he has anything to say, hopefully. Well, I know one thing. He already did say something. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do a little bit of Ableton every morning, and then I need to get back on my piano. If I have to play some piano, I'm going to use my piano lessons. Let's see if we can get
Imagine
started.
session view as almost like a sketch pad or a live performance area where we have loops that continuously loop round. They're not on a predetermined arrangement, and we can drop them in and out when we feel like it. Whereas arrange view, as we were just looking at a second ago, is more optimized for producing, arranging the song, adding layers. Think of it as like the finishing stage.
Okay.
Around each one of these views, we have a couple of windows that can open and close. The main one to think about here is the browser. This is where all our materials that we use to create and shape music live.
Yeah.
We can open and close this window with this little drop-down button here.
Okay, ho.
We also have a little window down here called Info
Let me
View.
look and see if I can do that. Okay, I see it. Open and close. Little drop down window. Let me see, what's this here next to it? I'm not messing with that until he can explain it to me. Okay, and I was attempting to load contact 8, but I think that's just going to make things go slower, draining on my processing power. So let's just keep going.
Which we can engage by pressing this little I button in the corner. I
turn
really
this up,
recommend you have this open. All you need to do is hover your mouse over something and it will tell you what it does. For example, this is the track activator and it activates and deactivates the track. Who knew?
Wait a minute. Ho.
Then we have down here another window which we can hide and close with this
Let me
little
go do what he just said. Okay, I didn't know that. Let me see if I can. Oh, you know what? I'm going to get the plate cover for this here. There's a cover. I have certain covers, labels on these my X-Touch right here has different covers. This one is probably Logic. Yeah, it's Logic. Up under there is nothing. It should be right over here in this drawer. Should be right here in this here drawer. Here's a whole bunch of, here we are. Whole stack of, group, a bunch of. Huey, Pro Tools stuck. What's this? User. Something missing. Oh, here they are. Back up in here. Oh, a whole stack of them. Whole rack of them. Not just a stack, but a rack. A rack. Let me change my battery here. I'm over here in the. Look here. Looky. We ain't playing, man. Look, a whole stack of them. Okay, here, let me read them off. This one, here it is, right here, live. It just say live. I'm gonna put this on the cover, on top of the thingy. Right on top of there. Let's see what else we have. Studio One. I'm gonna be using that once I can get it to work. Waveform. Don't know what that is. Reaper. Young man was just telling me about Reaper the other day. Reaper, I'm gonna keep that out. I might want to treat myself, not cheat myself. Oh man. This is CC. This is when you set your own Cubase. I used to use that. User Pro Tools. Put that to the side. I'm gonna be using that. Huey. That's for MIDI and Logic. I'm gonna put these three. Logic, Studio One. I'm gonna put these right on top. This can go way back in the drawer here. Put this back in the drawer. It's been sitting in there. I haven't thought to pull these out for a minute. Righty. But oh yeah, you know what? When I get ready to eat, I'm gonna eat a big. I got a whole bunch of spaghetti and linguine. I don't know, linguine. Spaghetti, pasta, noodles. We just call it spaghetti and noodles. Pasta. They have all kind of names for stuff. Okay, let's put this back here. Excuse me. And I'm looking at this here. I can go back and forth. Let's go back to the video. Excuse me.
Drop-down menu here. This shows our piano roll, our sample editor, and also what instruments we're using in Ableton Live. You can also use this little button here to hide.
Okay,
the
let's
main
look
one
at
to
the
think about
buttons.
here is the browser. This is where all our materials that we use to create and shape music live. We can open and close this window with this little drop-down button here.
I noticed
we also have a little window down here called Info View, which we can engage by pressing this little I button in the corner. I really recommend you have this open. All you need to do is hover your mouse over something and it will tell you what it does. For example, this is the track activator and it activates and deactivates the track. The main one to think about here is the browser. This is where all our materials that we use to create and shape music live.
It's on.
We can open and close this window with this little drop-down button here.
I already
we
have
also
it
have
on.
a little window down here called Info View, which we can engage by pressing this little I button in the corner. I really recommend you have this open. All you need to do is hover your mouse over something and it will tell you what it does. For example, this is the track activator and it activates and deactivates the track.
All right.
Who knew?
Who knew? I didn't.
Then we have down here another window which we can hide and close with this little drop-down menu here. This shows our piano roll, our sample editor, and also what instruments we're using in Ableton Live. You can also use this little button here to hide or close all the controls on each one of these tracks here. Now, if we're inside Arrange View, we can open up the tracks with inside the Arrange.
Let me stop this and I'm gonna go play with this myself for a minute here, y'all. Play with this stuff. Okay. Drop down effect audio. What's this? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, I can go in here and pick what I want to see. Track option, crossfade, performance, impact. Oh, getting a little bit of, learn a little bit of something, man. A little bit of something. I'm gonna keep drinking this smoothie. I want to go out and move my car soon. I'm gonna guzzle this and go out and move my car. I gotta put my battery back in the car. Okay, so I can close, open. What? Can't see, can't be nosy out the window, y'all. Be nosy out the window, huh, man? I know there's, since they made the bike lane, you can't be double parking around here. Let me be nosy out the window for a minute. Okay. Nosy old man. Out the window. He just so nosy. It's a lot of stuff I want to get back into too. I want to get back in my roller skate. Fishing. I have some more fishing line. I want to change my fishing line out. We'll do that on my phone. I go live on my phone when I'm doing that. That's for sure. Let's look. Okay, I can open, close this here window. This little side window, I can close the little bottom down here. If I want to see, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to leave that open until I start getting into some serious mixing and mastering and stuff. All this, I'm just playing with it so I know how to open and close stuff. Be able to know what I'm doing. Be able to get around. Play with it a little bit. I know how to do that. Okay, let's go. Let's go back.
This is great for when we come on to balancing all the levels of all the audio tracks as well. Let's go back to the main session view by clicking on this button up here. Now let's address the elephant in the room. What the hell are all these things here? So these vertical
Oh, his look different from mine. Oh, I see his
here
drop folder. Oh, wait.
Thing called tracks.
Drop folder.
Tracks are the vertical columns that host the sounds in Ableton Live. We have 4 types of tracks in Ableton Live, but only 2 different types of tracks can host sounds. In the main window here, we have something called MIDI.
Oh, this is a main. These are main sins. I'm looking at something different here. I'm gonna keep going.
And audio tracks. Over here, we have something called return.
Okay, that's what I'm looking at. Returns. Sins and returns. Reverbs. Okay.
Over here, we have something called main. So let's first look at MIDI tracks. MIDI, which stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface, which sounds scary. It really isn't. Think of it like an instrument that lives inside Ableton Live where we can control what notes it plays. The other one is audio. This is where we can drag loops or samples in from Ableton Live or any sample websites such as Splice. We can also use these tracks to record audio in, so someone singing or playing a bass guitar, which I will demonstrate later in this video. We then have return tracks which are slightly different from these tracks
there's
here,
a guy,
where we cannot store
there's a guy that
music
uses the Phantom and Ableton together, and he's using it like he's doing some fantastic stuff. He has the Phantom and Ableton sync together. You know what though? Let me see. And he had patterns. He was making patterns. You know what though? I want to see if I can menu. I want to set this for as a controller. Let's see what's gonna see if I'm jumping ahead though. Internal. I'm gonna put it. You know what? I'm gonna put it on controller. Let's see if it'll work. Remote. I'm gonna lock this in and see what happens. Then go to here. Let me see. I'm gonna go to pattern. See what happens. It's not controlling nothing. That's not going to do it. Undo. I'm gonna leave it on okay, it is. It's controlling the software. That's what I want. And plus I have my what's the name over here. Let me get back. Let's finish, Kev, see how much we can get done.
Simply affect the music that's already inside Ableton Live. Last one is the main. Main is essentially the sum of all the tracks in Ableton Live. Each one of these tracks here has an audio output, and it all comes to this main output here, which then comes out of 2 outputs out of either your audio interface or your headphone input. So I have 2 speakers here. So all the music you will hear in Ableton Live will come out of these 2 headphone dials here. It does take a little bit of time to understand. It's like learning an instrument, but by the end of this video, I have a much better idea of what's going on. So now let's look at something called clips. Clips are essentially the building blocks of music within Ableton Live.
Which I don't think I'm going to be using.
Pieces of musical or MIDI information that when played will loop continuously until we either tell them to stop or play another bit of music.
I have to get used to using stuff like that.
I'm going to use a free sample pack I've created. I'll put a link to it in the
description. Being a real musician, I think that's taking shortcuts.
So you can download it
I can make
and
my
try
own
this
music.
along with me. To add this folder inside Ableton Live, you would need to click this button here, which says Add Folder, and that creates a shortcut to a folder somewhere else on your computer and opens it up within Ableton Live. So you just click Add Folder, select where it's stored, click on the folder and press Open. then you will see all the samples in there. Now make sure this.
Okay. Wait. Add folder. I don't have samples. I mean, if I do have samples, no big deal to me, you know. Native Instruments have samples. Native Instruments have samples. Contact 8. It's not going to be here. Edit samples. No, it's not going to be here. I have to have I'm not used to using samples anyway. I'd rather record it and play it myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even going to do that. Let's just keep moving.
Little headphone dial is engaged, and then we can preview and hear what all the samples sound like.
It's probably already samples in. Here's his samples here. Drum samples. Samples. Let's see. Here we go. There's a little bit of samples already in here. Ambient. I'm running through these samples real quick here. Maybe interesting. I need to learn how to use them for what they were. That's brand new to me, y'all. This is brand new. I haven't been playing with these toys. Okay. Okay, I hit the space bar and it stopped when it started getting too annoying, which was already late. It was annoying when it first started.
Okay, sounding pretty cool. Then to load our first clip, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to drag one of these clips onto an audio track. These are audio loops. So if you're downloading a MIDI clip, you would drag it into a MIDI track. If you download audio clip, drag it into an audio track. So I'm going to start with a drum. Just drag it in like that. Now don't worry if you don't have enough tracks, you can simply drag it over to this space here which says drop files and devices here, and it will create a new track for you. Now to press play in Ableton Live, we simply press spacebar, but we don't hear anything. That's because each one of these clips here, or these loops, have their own individual play. This is where we can play, or as we call it in Ableton's language, launch a clip in time with each other. So this here sets the pulse of the song running in the background.
Let me drag some stuff over here so that I can have some stuff in here. I'm going to grab a drum kit samples. I'm just going to grab the first one and I'm going to drag it over here. Whoops, it's not going. It's not going. Oh, it's only for MIDI? Let's see. Let me see. Put it on 5. How come it wouldn't go on 4? Let's see. Yeah, it will go on 4. Let's see. It's not playing. Should it be on the MIDI? I'm messing up now. I'm gonna undo. I don't hear the, whoops, I'm waiting. Am I waiting for to hear this? I can't hear the sample. Okay. I'm gonna drag it up here and see what happens. No, it doesn't. It's only going to MIDI. It only goes in MIDI. See if it's gonna play. It's not playing. I gotta go back and listen to see why he said it didn't play.
We can turn on the metronome here so we can hear how fast it is. Stop or play another bit of music. Now for this, I'm going to use a free sample pack I've created. I'll put a link to it in the description below and on the screen here so you can download it and try this along with me. To add this folder inside Ableton Live, you would need to click this button here which says Add Folder, and that creates a shortcut to a folder somewhere else on your computer and opens it up within Ableton Live. So you just click Add Folder, select where it's stored,
I got to
click on the folder and press Open. Then you will see all the samples in there. Now make sure this little headphone dial is engaged, and then we can preview and hear what
This
all
is
the
not a teaching
samples sound like.
video, y'all. I'm learning. I just happen to come live so y'all can fly on the wall.
Okay, sounding pretty cool. Then to load our first clip, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to drag one of these clips onto an audio track. These are audio loops. So if you're downloading a MIDI clip, you would drag it into a MIDI track. If you download audio clip,
Okay, these must be MIDI tracks.
So I'm going to
These
start
must
with
be...
a drum.
Okay, wait a
Just
minute.
drag it in
Hold on.
like that. Now don't worry if you
Let
don't
me
have
look and
enough
see if I
tracks.
see the difference between audio and MIDI. Samples. Okay, these samples are audio. And instrument. These samples are MIDI. Samples. Yeah, these are MIDI samples. Okay. Let me see, I go to audio, effects, modules, mutilations, maximum life, for live, max for life. These are effects, audio, effects, plugins. These are let's see, contact 8. Wonder what this is going to open. It won't go. Contact 8 won't go nowhere. Close that back up. I'm going to do what he was doing. I'm going to grab some drums. And these are MIDI drums. I'm going to put this right here on the MIDI track. Is it going to play? Oh no, I got to figure out how to get it to play now. I don't know how to get it to play. I'm going to keep following him. Let me see, samples. Here's some. I'm going to put this is audio, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to drag this over to audio. Okay, 808. Now let's listen to the video.
You can simply try 3 for now. As default, Ableton Live has a tempo of 120 beats per minute. To go back to that, you can just double click and it takes you back. Now you can adjust the metronome sound by clicking on this little arrow here. I have it set to wood. It just sounds a little bit.
Let me see, what arrow there, Mike? His words are in the way.
Less abrasive than essentially the speed of the song. 123 means there's going to be 123 of those metronome clicks per minute. So if I wanted to make it slower, I can click and drag it down. If I want to make it faster, I can click and drag it up.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it at 1, 2, 3 for now.
Okay.
As default, Ableton Live has a tempo of 120 beats per minute. To go back to that, you can just double click and it takes you back. Now you can adjust the metronome sound by clicking on this little arrow here. I have it set to wood. It just sounds a little bit less abrasive than the classic metronome sound, which is this sound. Okay, let's put it back to wood. I need to launch one of these clips. Now check this out.
Okay, let me do that. Stop.
Did you see when I pressed play, it didn't automatically play. It flashed a little bit first.
Okay, let's see. It's not doing it. I don't hear it. I don't hear. It's not coming out. Configure. Core audio. No core audio. Oh, it's supposed to be coming out of Phantom. Let me see. I don't hear nothing. Let me see why. If I can find out why. I see something. What's this? Oh, I had it on solo. I got this on solo. When I put it on solo, I can hear it. Wonder why. What's this? Extension. Audio. Main. No. External. Configure. Why isn't that playing? Phantom. Let me see. I think I need to come out of my vote audio. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I'm coming out of my vote audio. Now I hit solo again. Why? How come I can only hear it when it's on solo? I don't know why I can only hear it on solo. Main out. Post mix. Wonder why it's only, I can only hear it when it's on solo. That's annoying. I wonder why I can only hear it when it's on solo.
This is because of another thing that's unique to Ableton Live, which is something called launch quantization. Now, it's set as default to 1 bar, and you can adjust the description below and on the screen here, so you can download it and try this along with me. To add this folder inside Ableton Live, you would need to click this button here, which says Add Fold Audio Track. These are audio loops. So if this is where we can play, or as we call it in Ableton's language, launch a clip in time with each other. So this here sets the pulse of the song running in the background. We can turn on the metronome here so we can hear how fast it is. If we want to adjust the speed, we can adjust something called the BPM, which is essentially the speed of the song. 123 means there's going to be 123 of those metronome clicks per minute. So if I wanted to make it slower, I can click and drag it down. If I want to make it faster, I can click and drag it up. I'm going to keep it at 1, 2, 3 for now. As default, Ableton Live has a tempo of 120 beats per minute. To go back to that, you can just double click and it takes you back. Now you can adjust the metronome sound by clicking on this little arrow here. I have it set to wood. It just sounds a little bit less abrasive than the classic metronome sound, which is this sound. Okay, let's put it back to wood. I need to launch one of these clips.
I see. I didn't have it. He showed me how to do this. It was
Did you see when I pressed play?
He showed me it had to be activated. These numbers have to be.
This is because of another scary. It really isn't. Think of it like an instrument that lives inside Ableton Live, where we can control what notes it plays. The other one is audio. This is where we can drag loops or samples in 3 for now. As default, Ableton Live has a tempo of 120 beats per minute. To go back to that, you can just double click and it takes you back. Now you can adjust the metronome sound by clicking on this little arrow here. I have it set to wood. It just sounds a little bit less abrasive than the classic metronome sound, which is this sound. Okay, let's put it back to wood. I need to launch one of these clips. Now check this out. Did you see when I pressed play, it didn't automatically play, it flashed a little bit first. This is because of another thing that's unique to Ableton Live, which is something called launch quantization. Now, it's set as default to 1 bar, and you can...
Did I have anything in there? Oh, that's wait a minute, those are claps. Drum samples. Okay, I'm gonna drag this over here and see. I did this before, I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's see. I don't hear the I don't hear the drum. Why are the drums not playing? That's a MIDI. Main. Oh, wait a minute. No. I'll put this back on main. Where is it? Oh, the drums not playing. That's an audio track. Okay. MIDI. Is this audio? It's a MIDI track. I'm gonna delete this because it's getting on my nerves. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm getting...
Adjust it to any subdivision or even more bars here, or even turn it off. I recommend just keeping it as 1 for now. And what that basically means is when I have this transport...
Let me see something. It says drum. I'm gonna put a piano in here if I can. Instruments. Let's see. External instruments. Plugins. Native instruments. Waves. I don't see my arteria. There it is. I was trying to say I didn't see arteria. Let's see if I can drag a piano up here. V piano. Okay. I don't even have it on MIDI. And external instruments. And okay. I see this one. Okay, there it is. I don't hear it though. How do you open it up? I'm going to take a break. All. V piano. Oh, it's not compatible. I have to get regular. Use the stock. Oh, there goes Piano Tech. Oh, there it is. It opened. Piano Tech opened right up. Oh, it's loud too. I can hear it. Piano Tech opened up with no problem. Yeah, Piano Tech opened up, y'all. There it is right here. Now I'm missing my other little extra screens. I probably could use another screen here to put the piano plug. But there's a piano. Nice and loud too, man. Let me see if the fader will work. Oh, the fader works on the fader board. Y'all. Let's see. I think I'm gonna throw away this cut that. Well, I have a piano on here. Let's try. I'm gonna go here to this thing here. I'm recording. Whoops. Or it won't play on this. Stop. Let's see what happened. Did I record anything? I hear something. No, here's where it starts, right? Here, I think. Here, boom. Nope, that didn't work. Let me see if it has an undo here. Undo, see if this works. 2, 3, boom. You can click on the Undo. Redo. Undo. Oh, it worked. It undid. Let's see something. Let's see if it's going to record. It should click if it's recording. Right? Okay, wait. Okay, I see. Let's see. Record. It cut. I can't hear. It cut off as soon as I started playing. Stop. I'm gonna look and see if there's anything. Didn't do it. Undid. Something I'm not doing right, so I'm gonna listen to his video again.
Or playback engaged. When I press play or launch a clip, it's going to wait for the first beat of the bar. So if I launch it on beat 2, it's going to count 2, 3, 4, 1, then play. So now let's have a look at playing 2 clips at the same time. Once that play button on the clip has been engaged, it will stay green. So every time I press spacebar, that clip will now play with the transport record. If I want to turn it off, I press the stop button underneath. Also, because we adjusted our default launch mode to toggle, that means when we press play, if we press play again, the clip will also turn off. And that's bringing another clip on top of it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, let's see.
Let's drag in a few more.
Sounds like that.
Let's drag in a percussion.
That almost sounds like that song that guy wrote. She come running back. Instrument. Are these instruments? Samples? I'm gonna drag this over here again and see what happens. Okay, he said it would play. MIDI. It's not playing. So let's see. I don't see that little. I must have put it on the wrong part. I must have put it on the wrong thing. I don't hear it. It's not playing. I have to record something? I think I have to record something. Let's see. Nope. I don't know where I'm at now, y'all. I got lost. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm gonna finish listening to this. He just doing samples.
Let's drag in a synth.
I think I want something else. I think I want how to record Ableton with O series, Phantom O series. Ableton and Phantom O series. Where's the 0? Let's see what comes up. Ableton integration for Ableton O series. Here we go. Rolling. No, it don't say Ableton, no. Setting up old series, working with Ableton. That's 4 years ago. It's 2 years ago. I'm gonna listen to this guy.
Hi, Paul from Contemporary Synth here. In these tutorials, we look at the technical and artistic capabilities of the Roland Phantom O workstation. Today, it's all about Ableton Live Lite and how to connect this computer to that program and make it play a song and do what you want to do. I'm in an initial scene. I'm just going to get right down to it. There are 3 things you need to check in your menu before you get into the software. The first is in the System menu, all the way at the top, you need to make sure that your USB driver says vendor. If it says generic, then you need to switch it to, you need to hit right, and you need to turn the keyboard off. You can't do it in the same session. I learned that the hard way. The next thing you need to do is go all the way down to the bottom and make sure that you are in version 1.02. This is the second update, and both the 1.01 and 1.02 updates specifically addressed Ableton Live integration issues, so you need to have them both. If that does not say 1.02, go to the Roland site, go to downloads, find the Phantom O, do the USB Kabuki dance, and upgrade your keyboard. Then the third thing you need to do is go to sound, and this is the leap of faith. Right now I can hear my keyboard, and if I turn local switch to off, I cannot. And what that is doing is separating the MIDI controller from the synthesizer. And what you can see in my keys, I'm still generating MIDI signals, but it's not going to the synthesizer because I'm relying on the program to do that. This is scary because if you don't get the computer to work, then your keyboard stops making music. All right, now we're ready to go to Ableton. I've already launched it on my laptop because that takes a minute, which is why it says close live to enable. I don't need to close it. I tap the button, and now I'm connected. And now you can see that my screen and my keyboard are integrated. But that doesn't mean we're ready to make music. The next thing we need to do is go over here and either do Control Comma for me because I'm on a Windows laptop, or go to Options, Preferences. And now we need to talk about this Preferences page. This was the game changer that made it possible for me to make it work. All right, in the audio section, you have 3 choices here. MME stands for Microsoft Multimedia Experience. That and DirectX are both Microsoft sound drivers that are resident in the operating system.
I don't have that option.
So the good news about those guys is that they will support a large amount of peripherals. And if you get into USB microphones and other keyboards and you want them all to work at the same time, Microsoft MME will support all those peripherals. DirectX is optimized for gaming, but the same idea. The downside of MME
2 years ago
is down here. You'll see 92.9 milliseconds, and I'll show you what that sounds like later on. What you're going to want to select is ACO. ACO stands for Audio Streaming Input Output.
No,
that is
old.
A sound card
That's
driver
techno.
authored by the Steinberg Company, and it connects your application to your peripheral, bypassing the operating system. So it is a very low latency driver that is specifically tuned for certain instruments, so it doesn't work with multiple, and it doesn't work with every one. Once you've picked, but it is much faster. You can see 35 milliseconds. When I first selected ACO the first time, I did not see this Phantom 06 option, and it took me a few reboots to work. I did download this ACO for all, which is referenced in the here, but it isn't really going to matter. On the output config, probably more aligned with what the keyboard's going to do. So you can type whatever you want here, but it isn't really going to matter. On the output config, we get 2 stereo outputs out of Ableton, and those do work. So I've called one main and one sub, and what I did with that is over here in the outs, you can send the cue out to the sub, and the cue out is like the microphone or the metronome, and I send that to the sub mix, and then I have the sub out go to a little peripheral speaker that I use, and maybe someday playing live I'll use earbuds for that so I can hear the metronome without the house hearing that, and then send your main outs to the main. And you can call those whatever you want, but whatever you call them will show up here. With that, your audio setup is complete, and then you go to this one. This is the most important page. All right, in the control surface section, you'll see a lot of options, and Phantom is obviously one of them. Select Phantom, and then for your input, there are 3 options here. And this is the part that threw me for a while. In the Roland video, Ed Diaz picks all 3 of these in 3 different rows. That does not work for me. Maybe it's a Phantom O thing, I don't know. But if I pick anything other than DAW control, I start having all kinds of problems. All right, let me show you what they do though. So I'm recommending just pick DAW control for input. When you do, I can move these arrows around and you can see that my screen and my keyboard are in sync. If I turn off the input, then I'm moving on my screen, but I'm not seeing it over here. All right. Interestingly, I can select this automate or activate the track, and that's still reflecting on the keyboard. So I can send from the computer to the keyboard, just I can't receive input from the keyboard, which is what you'd expect if you turn off input. So let me put input back. Let me turn off output now. If I do that, now when I select here, I don't see anything. Do the same one so you can see. All right. Interestingly, I can go over here. I can do it myself, but I don't get an indication of it over there. And if I turn this back on, then it works again. Okay. So that's why you need input and output on the control surface. I can't demonstrate why you don't want the others, but I was on them for a long time. And it will take, for example, channel 1, if you have those others selected, well, actually, the first 7 channels can't be used for MIDI music. They can only be used for control signals, and I don't know where it's going. Channel 16 has a whole octave that's used for other purposes in these DAW control and MIDI in, or for the first 2 if you select them in these other rows. Just go with those and you'll be fine. Down here, you don't need a lot of this stuff checked either. All you need is, the most important one is this first play out in the next video for MIDI notes, and the other is for the DAW control surfaces. That is all you need selected, and if you select more, now I haven't experimented with time sync. If you're getting into that, then hopefully you already know what you're doing, but I have, I need to come out of my MIDI mapping mode. All right, compared to, I go with the Phantom output, which has the ACO driver. It's pretty clear right there. So if you're not going to use that, you can uncheck it. It's not hurting anything, but there you go. So that is, now we are ready to set up. Let me show you one other thing. So now let me show you the channels. When I show my input coming here, here's channel 1, and that lights up. And if I go to channel 4, that lights up. All right. If you want to get complicated, you can unselect this and pick your zones. These are like zone activate. This is how you can.
Oh, now it's controlling. It's telling me I'm messing with my fade the Razor loop deck. I want to see if we can get that up and running. All this is in preparation for when I get my Mac Studio up and running. I have everything working properly. Oh, that's my mouse. That's my I do have this keyboard, this I do have that. I just downloaded. I think that's it just told me to download this for some reason. Now, let's see if it's going to Surface Controller. Let me see something. I think it's have to get it, turn it on. This one's not on. There it is. And I'm ready to run out here and move my car. Wow. mouse is not. Okay. Please open SS. I did that. Grant SS. I did. Oh, it's not here now. Okay. A whole bunch of stuff. Quit. Reopen. There we are. Now let's see what's going to happen. Open. Now this is monitor. Open input monitoring. Allow. Open input monitoring. Oh, it's still not here. Let's see if we can find that where they were talking about input monitoring. Input monitoring 2. There it is. I followed instructions. Quit and reopen. Okay. Now it's doing it again. This time it should be fully. I don't know what this has to do with option. No. I don't think there's enough stuff going on in the world already. Without you guys being all in my business. Okay, I did all this other thing. Open, grant. I did all that, I think. Okay, it's already done, I think. Let's try. Now let's go here. See why the what's name wasn't working. If not, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just playing with my toys. OBS, just playing with my toys. Ableton. Maybe because it won't work because this Ableton is a free this is a free one. That's probably why. Anyway, I have my piano playing. Is that internal? That's internal. I want to be able to get this thing working so I can access the internal sounds on the Phantom. Now what is this? Audio? Is that audio right there? Yeah. That's audio. And I want to do MIDI at the same time too. There we go. We have internal and let me see what we can do on both. Shift, record. I have to be an option shift, command shift. No. I'm not gonna work. I'm not gonna worry about it. I have the internal sound. I have the external sound. I think I just want internal. I think that guy that was doing that music, he was using internal sounds. Let's see. It stopped. It stopped as soon as I started recording. It stopped. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I see it right there. I see a recording, but it's not playing. Right here it should be playing. It's not playing back. I'm gonna leave this a break. I'm gonna leave this alone here for a minute. I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna see what happens with the patterns. put it on. Remote. External. I want to get the Phantom working using having the one thing. Just have to use it as a lost contact. What happened? I'm tired. I'm gonna leave this a break now. I did some. I'm gonna do a little bit each morning till it starts opening up to me. You know what I'm saying? For now, I'm gonna go back to the demo. Live stat. Now I'm gonna leave this alone, y'all. I'm tired. That was enough for now. Yeah. It's enough for now. Okay. I can hear it externally. I'm gonna leave this alone for now, y'all. I might want to load back in Logic just to record and just to practice with. Let's see. I do know my way halfway around Logic enough to record. Logic. Where is it? Logic Pro. Here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and load this just for recording my own stuff. And let me go ahead and sign off. Peace and love. Peace and hair grease. Peace and roast beef. That was an experience. Gotta get back into this stuff here. Did I close? Ableton's still open. Close this. I don't think I'm gonna be able to save anything. Closing Ableton. like I bet you everything's froze up here. Resume. See if anything is not. I'm signing off too, y'all. See, push forward.